Hello YouTube, it's a beautiful day here in Kentucky. It's about 67 degrees, mid-February. That's nice, but it is windy. It keeps blowing the car cover off the Trans Am, keeps blowing the gate open, and the dog just went out. He comes back. He always comes back when you holler at him. And for the second time, it's blowing my garbage can over. The first time it blew it over, it got it all over the yard. This time it ain't so bad, but I'll go pick that up again and get the gate shut. I had a big rock, and it said, "Get out of the way, rock." I got these big rocks under here to help hold the... That ain't helping. Well, it's helping it from blowing in the neighbor's yard. But we'll get that fixed. Get that picked up. Guys, I'm learning these LS motors, and I don't really know a lot about them. Now, the small block Chevys, the Gen 1s and the Gen 2s, I know quite a bit about those. The LS stuff, it's a little bit different. And according to someone on my last post, they said that you don't use the PTFE on the LS head studs, bolts, or whatever. I used it when I did my heads on my car, and I used it when we did Austin's car. But if it don't require that, you still have to put that lubrication stuff on the threads. But I got an LS block in here. I could have swore I looked at mine and they went in a water jacket. If they go in a water jacket, they need that PTF sealer. But let's look closer at the one I got in the carport here and see if they actually do go in a water jacket. Look at these big branches that fell out of the tree. I saw them coming out here. And there's some loose branches up there. That's why we never park anything over here. But hopefully there's loose branches caught up in that tree. Hopefully they don't fly out and hit that. That would suck. And there's some shingle tabs laying in the yard. That's never a good sign. All right, so let's see here. It's hard to see down in there. See if I can hold it more steady. That's why I thought it went into the water jacket, because it went down so far. I mean, this is a big old screwdriver. It goes way down in there. But the water jacket, it actually goes farther down than the water jacket. But you'll see this is where the water flows. And the bolt goes down further. The bolt hole anyway. So yeah, you don't need PTFE on those. But on a small block Chevy, all these bolts go in, all of them go in a water jacket. So you do have to use PTFE on those. On a Gen 1 or Gen 2 LT1, all these go in a water jacket, but the top four don't, or the top ones don't. And yeah, so on these right here, or they deadhead like that, you definitely want to make sure that you blow them out, because if you get a bunch of water in there and you tighten the bolt up and it presses all that down, or there's a bunch of junk in there, you could crack something. So it's best to clean the threads up with a thread chaser and then blow that out real good on those. But you definitely want to use some lubricant on those, on the bolt threads, on any bolt threads, especially head bolt threads. You want to use some of the ARP lubricant on the threads. So even though we put PTFE on there, it acts as a lubricant, so it's not going to hurt anything. But you don't need the PTF sealer on these LS motors. And here's the lubricant I use on the threads when it doesn't go into a water jacket. But whoever commented that on that head video, thank you. I'm learning. And if you guys ever see me make mistakes like that, tell me. I love it. You know, that's only normally I'd research that, but I could have swore when I looked down in there, it went into a water jacket. And where Gen 1 and Gen 2 go into a water jacket, I just figured it went into a water jacket. But live and learn. So an update on this, I did order some fans. I'm going to put the radiator cooler in front. of the radiator, but I want to get the fans in. So I went and took everything out, painted it up. And I got the reversible fans. Reversible fans mean that you can reverse the polarity and they'll push or pull. Then you can get just pusher fans, or you can just get puller fans. I've always just reversed polarity on them and they worked anyway, but there might be a reason why some of them weren't supposed to be reversed. But anyway, I don't know enough about that to comment on that. So I ordered some eBay pusher fans. I got 2 of them for like 80 bucks because most other places wanted $150, $200 per fan. I needed 2 fans, but these do $1,800 each, which is $3,600. And from my understanding, a V8 like this only needs like 2,800 to 3,000 CFM. So with those together, it's like 3,600. So that's a little overkill. Austin has 1 factory fan, and he just has it mounted in here somehow. It's not even up against the radiator, and his car never gets over 170. And his radiator is actually smaller than that one. So, but anyway. And here are the fans I ordered. And sometimes it's not good to order cheap eBay stuff, but we'll see how they do. And here's the stats on them: the height, the width, the thickness. The thickness is going to be perfect. They're going to fit in there just fine. I couldn't get the stock fans in there, even if I take them out of the thing. They're too wide and they're too thick. They hit on a couple of places, but these are 10.75 wide, which 21.5. My math serves me correctly. So the width of the core size of the radiator itself is 22.5. So that's going to be perfect. That'll give me a 1/2 inch on each side. And the height's 11.5 and the radiator core size is 15.5. And I measured where I'm going to set them to push, and they're going to fit great. And 1861 CFM, that comes to 36 and some change, 37.22 or something, or yeah, 37.22 maybe. I don't know. Just doing math off the top of my head. And 9 amps. So the factory wires and fuse should be able to handle that. All right, I got Christopher's QA1 Double Adjustable Shocks out for the rear. And the website says for drag racing on the rear, you want 0 to 6 compression. So I'll put that at 3. And then 4 to 10 rebound, I'll put that at 7 and split the middle. So we're going to put those on and see how it does. And just from there. Opening that door when the wind's blowing hard. Oops. Alright, jacked up the car from the middle of the rear end. I took this wheel off. It looks like we just have that bolt right there. And 2 bolts up there. Easy peasy. Let's get those off. I got the bolts out. Now we just compress the shock together. Should pull right out. Well, these shocks work really good. I had that rebound on 7. And I couldn't even pull that out of there. I put it on 0 and it pulled out really good. But I put some of that ARP bolt lube on there. And now we got to put the bottom of this together. You got these washers, these rubber bushings. So that washer goes on there like that. And then the rubber bushing goes on like that. Then we put her in the hole. I wonder if it'd be best to face it that way. Or if it'd be best to face it that way. I'd say that way. So that way you can get to it. Get to the dials easier. Just reach around there and see what the instructions say. And on these rubber, I'm putting the big hole towards the washer, and then the small hole towards the bolt hole, because that's the way those were. It's got some bolts and lock nuts, but this car, it bolts to the frame. And these bolts are too long to use anyway, so we're going to use the stock bolts we took out. There goes the wind again. It's weird because it won't blow at all, and then all of a sudden it's crazy, and then it stops. And it does it again. But anyway, I'm going to put the adjustment knobs like that just because there's more room to reach in there. You're hard pressed to get your hand back there. And actually the stock shocks are right up against the tire, so hopefully that ain't the case with these. But let's bolt them in, put the tire on, hopefully it won't rub, because them tires are pretty big. And Christopher cut the bump stop out. It's helping a lot. I did that on my car too. Alright, there we go. It's in. And you might have to use a wrench on there where you tighten this up. And I did put one of the lock nuts on here. You know, because you don't want to tighten this stupid tight. You just want to mush out these bushings just a little. You don't want to tighten them all the way up where it flattens them. And it doesn't really take that much pressure. Alright, there we go. Let's put the tire on and make sure it clears right there. Not sure how good y'all can see up in there, but there's plenty of room in between there. I know it looks close on the camera, but it's not that close. I just can't get a good angle for you to see. There's lots of room in there. Awesome. And then you can just stick your hand in here around the side and make the adjustments. Compression rebound. Stick your arm right back behind the tire. And I don't think it's going to hit nothing. Alright. Then we'll do the other side, and that's pretty much it. Y'all like and subscribe, and have a great day. And just some clearance videos from the top here. The other side.